Today has been a hot set of matches beginning at noon Eastern with 32 teams fighting for a $1,000 prize pool, and we're down to the final four. In the semifinals, we'll be watching Regen versus Hour Zero, both teams facing off once again after their matchup in the Fran Overwatch Community Cup. Is Regen looking for revenge and brought back to life together tonight better than ever? Or is the clock going to strike once again for Hour Zero? We're going to find out here shortly. My name's Captain Jack, and I'll be your play-by-play for this match, joined by Gizmo Charmander on Analyst and Booth on Production. Gizmo, what are your thoughts about this semifinals match?
What I've been told is we have some teams that look like they could be future contender teams. So I'm super excited because I don't don't know. I've been so caught up with all the contender matches that's happened throughout the week. I was like so happy to hear that our first open was going to be basically like contenders. So I'm just pumped. There's no words to describe how I feel right now. I got my R2D2 cooler ready to go afterwards, and I've got my baby Yoda just watching me. So
yeah, we will definitely be excited.
I hope we get to see the Sigma ball too, because that was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, the meta has been changing a whole lot lately. But first off, before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce our starting lineup for these teams. Coming in for Team Regen, we have Sorrow, Draco, Eski, Green, Pascal, and Virul. For Hour Zero, we have Sluggo, Maxwell, Salty, Chiselchin, My Crazy Cat, and Tenza. Be sure to be popping off in the chat and letting us know who you want to see walk into the finals match for this semifinals lineup. And we do want to remind you all, we will be swapping back and forth between both this match and our other semifinals match. So don't worry, you'll be able to catch all this stuff later on in the full videos on our YouTube channel, which you can find through our website at owtranquility.com. So as soon as the teams are ready to go, our first match of the evening is going to be on Busan, a control map. For those of you that may not be familiar with Overwatch, control is kind of a king of the hill type map. It has a section of the map that the teams control. They gain percentage points, and the first one that gets to 100% wins. Best 2 out of 3 ends up taking the map. So as soon as the teams are ready and raring to go, we'll go ahead and get things started. Gizmo, do you have any information on these teams? We know that they faced off together in the FOCC earlier this year, but is there any other information you can tell us about either team?
Ooh, there's probably a good bit. A couple of them have been on formal teams such as Revival and like Sky Foxes. Third Impact. Wow. I mean, we've got some people out here tonight that have been just on several teams and have shown their meta, if you will.
And so absolutely true.
Like we were trying to say, like I was saying before, I'm really looking forward to seeing if they're running this contenders meta that's out right now. I know I've been playing it with my buddies in comp. I mean, we all know how comp doesn't really translate to the gameplay, but I mean, these are now tier 3 teams, so that's probably what we're going to be seeing. And so far, we're seeing D.Va coming out. Ooh.
Interesting. That is definitely an interesting pick. It looks like we have a pseudo dive coming in for the side of Hour Zero, with Maxwell and My Crazy Cat coming in on the Sombra Symmetra. Definitely interesting. Got the beams and the hacks there. Whereas for the side of Regen, they're going to be coming out on that Sigma Ball meta, also using the Symmetra. I gotta say, that's interesting. I have not seen the Symmetra used very often on the mecha base, as we are seeing right now, but already we see Chiselchin going in onto Draco, looking to see if they can secure that pick very early on. Green going in to try to help out their fellow tank, as we see Virul looking to get into that backline, trying to take Sluggo out of this fight, gets him down to half health, use the recall to get back into the action. My Crazy Cat trying to do the same on the Tracer, trying to get into that backline as well and take down those healers. Virul ends up getting the first pick there onto Sluggo, so it's a 5v6 fight as the point unlocks. And it looks like Regen will quickly take control of the objective. Maxwell looking to get into that backline as the rest of the team retreats for their next push.
Yeah. running this very, heavy DPS dive for them is such an interesting concept. I love seeing it, especially with the Briggs and Yada combo. But Viral just taking out Slugo just made it such an easy win on the first fight.
And that was a very quick pick right there from my Crazy Cat. Viral trading up with Sorrow, as well as Sluggo takes down Green, and the trades just continue to come in. Salty goes ahead and runs down Sorrow as Viral falling to Tenza there, and it looks like Control will go ahead and swap over after Draco gets eliminated by Sluggo. 38% for Regen as Hour Zero takes the point.
I mean, these definitely are teams that will eventually probably make it to trials. Just watching them go back and forth for contenders. 38%. Usually we get to see 0 to 100, but both teams showing very, control and just honestly, this D.Va play right now I'm seeing. Oh, please. Nice! My Crazy Cat just destroying the back line.
Right there on Pascal and Sorrow. We see the ball running people over. Chiselchin taking down Green right there as they try to work their way into the objective again. At the 38% mark, they have now surpassed, and Hour Zero takes the lead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say right now, seeing My Crazy Cat on the Tracer, from what I've been told, is just an insane, hit scan player. But just be able to disrupt with the Tracer just shows the vitality of their roster pool that they have.
That is true. Already seeing My Crazy Cat looking to get in that backline, trying to take Pascal out of the fight. It looks like Transcendence was just outside of the EMP that came down from Maxwell. Esky ends up taking him out of the fight after the EMP drops. Here comes the bomb. Salty trying to get him on the high ground, but gets nothing but shield right there as Green able to continue to protect the team and hold this high ground for now. Looks like the Gravitic Flux is online, coming in, gets two, looking to see if they can get those picks, but gonna be unsuccessful thanks to the help from Tenza right there, keeping their team alive. The percentage continues to climb as we hit the 80% mark. Pulse Bomb is online as we see Draco falling to Tenza right there, but Esky and Green getting picks of their own. The minefield is down for Chiselchin as Sorrow tries to clear the objective. Looks like they're gonna go ahead and grab it right there. Regen gets the point back in their favor at the 93% mark for Hour Zero.
Yeah, it's very interesting seeing these main combos. You have the, dive meta right now with Ball and D.Va, but then you have what is considered the contenders meta, the Sigma Ball, which we were mentioning at the beginning. It's nice to see if the ball's being the disruptor or the attention grabber.
That is true. Well, right now, Draco has all their attention slamming in and trying to get some picks right there as My Crazy Cat ends up grabbing Viral. Here comes a big slam, but the hack comes down too as Maxwell takes Draco out of the fight with the rest of the team. 75% and climbing right now for the side of Regen as they use the Transcendence to try to keep the rest of their teammates up. But it looks like control is almost over. Back to the side of Hour Zero. Viral trying to hold on to the objective. Pulse Bomb going in. The Transcendence ends up saving Sluggo, but does not prevent the explosive damage onto Tenza right there. Double kill coming in for Sluggo right there as Salty ends up picking up a double kill of their own. Here comes the D.Va Bomb, and EMP doesn't end up grabbing anything, but they do grab control of the objective once again. Hour Zero now in overtime, trying to keep them off the objective. Draco back in, ends up getting hacked out and run over by Chiselchin, and the only one left near the objective is Sorrow. Oh no, now we see Esky on the Lucio trying to touch, gets booped away, and that 100 to 92, the mecha base goes to Hour Zero.
Oh my god, folks, I don't know about you, but I am super pumped after just this first round. If that doesn't already tell us what the rest of this night holds for us, you'll clearly have your monitors off. So we're coming to downtown now, and I definitely think there's gonna be some switch ups. Sorrow switched off the Ashe to the McCree, probably to help stun, try to keep Maxwell and Chiselchin from being able to do as much as they were. But My Crazy Cat, once again, it's just not enough stuns to keep them out of the backline, just getting value out of pulse bombs. I mean, taking Esky and forcing the trance. What an amazing play by them.
That is correct. Let's go ahead and get into the next match. Now heading into downtown Busan, looking to see if they can secure this with a 2-0 victory. Sorrow falling incredibly low right there is My Crazy Cat already getting crazy on the objective. Maxwell in the back line there, getting some DPS onto green, and it is just the Crazy Cat show with the quad kill there, securing the victory of the objective already before it even got unlocked. It see Hour Zero go ahead and start their percentage climb as Regen prepares for their next fight.
Yeah, it seems like the coordination with the dive from Hour Zero has been the ooh, Pascal taking out Maxwell. That's going to be a big blow to Hour Zero right there.
Yep, that pesky Sombra has definitely been an issue for them, and it looks like the supports are just as ready to take down Salty as well. Viral ends up switching over to the Echo, taking down both the supports for the side of Hour Zero, and it looks like here at the 30% mark, we will see Control swap on over to the side of Regen.
Yeah. Well, as I was trying to say before, it looked like, you know, being able to take the focus on My Crazy Cat got Maxwell to do that damage, but just Maxwell getting taken out right before the fight starts was such a huge pick by Pascal. And then Eski protecting Pascal and demeching D.Va right there. Oh, no doubt Regen was going to win that fight.
That's true. Maxwell, being the pesky Sombra they are, ends up getting the hack onto green, but not a lot of follow-up to keep them out of the fight. Draco, though, running over Chiselchin, is going to continue to hold this control for the side of Regen as they go ahead and meet the percentage of Hour Zero.
What a huge boot, too, by Draco. Not very often do you get to see a Hammond get a boot at this level of play, but when you do, oh my goodness, you know he's spamming it in chat in his head.
That's absolutely true. Let's keep the action going right now as Viral looking to get some picks on that high ground. Transcendence coming out for Pascal as My Crazy Cat gets that Pulse Bomb once again onto Eski, using it mid-Transcendence every time to make sure to take the other support out of the fight. Viral falling incredibly low right there, has the Discord on him, and it looks to be coming in as the Wrecking Ball with the duplicate, looking to see if they can solidify that pick right there. Minefield over the main mega health pack right there, and is chasing down Chiselchin, will end up getting them successfully before they end the duplicate. Eski and Draco Pascal all getting picks outside the objective as the percentage continues to climb, and Regen is now heading into final fight territory.
What a huge play by Viral. Not only did he get the chase down on Chiselchin, but landing the minefield there on the Mega definitely helps keep the extra heals from the map. Wow, Salty just melted Sorrow right there.
That's true, but Sorrow did take down Chiselchin right before that, so it's a 5v5 fight right before we head into overtime. Already Chiselchin trying to make their way back into the objective right now. Big slam coming in from Chiselchin, ends up getting rocked out by green as Maxwell and Crazy Cat end up taking out the supports of Regen. Maxwell gets the follow-up on Viral and green, and Control goes back over to Hour Zero, 42% and climbing.
Wow, I mean, once again, we just had this nice little switchback, and woo! I cannot ask for a better game tonight for a semifinal.
Viral, concur with you there.
Viral making the switch over to Echo has been huge, but Maxwell's just getting enough value with the Sombra and coming up on another EMP after that fight.
That's absolutely true. Let's see if they can keep it going. My Crazy Cat does have that Pulse Bomb online as well, trying to take out their counter. Sorrow right there at the 70% mark. They're going to continue to hold strong. Draco falling incredibly low right there, and My Crazy Cat trying to chase him down. Going to end up being unsuccessful in using that recall to get back to the safety of the team. We're heading into final fight territory once again between Regen and Hour Zero.
And Hour Zero looking really good with the ult economy coming up as a huge EMP.
5-man EMP comes out as Draco falls incredibly low. The picks just continue to come in as Salty following up on green. Pulse Bomb going into the hallway coming in. D.Va Bomb coming down from Salty as well, 99-99. And we will see Hour Zero in a clutch just lock it down, making it 1-0 as they take Busan.
Oh my goodness. This match right now is just, I'm about to jump out of my seat because of what is happening. But the Tracer Sombra just definitely seems like to be, you know, our Zero's like go-to right now, because here we are watching My Crazy Cat just disrupting the backline. If they're being focused, they can swap out with the Sombra, and it's just, it's enough little poke damage that's happening so quick, and with just Zenyatta Brigada heals, you can't keep up with it. And the pulses, oh my goodness. I have never seen one get that much value from a pulse bomb while Transcendence is going.
Yep.
That is just mind-blowing right there.
Well, that's the great thing about explosives in this game, whether it be Diva Bomb, Riptire, or Pulse Bomb. All that explosive damage doesn't get sucked up by the Transcendence the same way it would get from the Lucio's sound barrier, if you will. So that's always the thing about your supports, is using defensive ults can be absolutely huge, but if you're not using the right one for the right situation, you can end up finding yourselves at the wrong end of a pulse bomb. So our Zero taking an early lead right now. Remember, this is a best of 3 series, and we want to remind you that the Tranquility Community Open is, of course, brought to you by the Overwatch Tranquility Community, your source for amazing Overwatch play from Gold to Grandmaster. You can check out all of our events at owtranquility.com. And now we are heading into our next match, which is going to be our assault map. And depending on which team, which map the teams end up picking, will kind of determine what the pace of the game is going to look like. Assault is very similar to what we see for Control. Instead, it's an attack straight on the objective. You have a defending team trying to prevent the team from getting on the objective and getting percentage points, and then you're having the attacking team trying to grab first objective and then move on to second objective to try to secure the map. And it will definitely be interesting. These two teams have been pretty paralleled for the most part. Both matches ended up being 99-99 on Control, and honestly, I feel like anything could happen as we head to Hanamura for our next match.
Yes, and you know, something we didn't think about beforehand when we saw the two Symmetras come out, we usually only see that when it comes to Control map known as Lijiang Tower, where the teams will start off on that Symmetra and just to help get, but that's been a very huge thing too that I've seen in contenders this past few weeks, is most teams have been running that, switching to the Tracer and all that. So now we are on Hanamura, which is a famously known map for that Symmetra play on first point attack.
Oh, definitely.
But I think with the way our Zero has been going, they're going to be running that Sombra Tracer.
Maybe.
Well, actually, My Crazy Cat might just want to throw me off and go ahead and go. Well,
nah, they're just
they're just toying. They're just killing themselves and spawn. Yeah.
Either that, or they're giving some early healing to their supports.
See, I know self damage doesn't do anything for the ult charge, so yeah, they were just trying to kill themselves in spawn.
Just goofing around in the spawn. Those silly folks, silly.
Now we see Viral coming out though on that Mei, and they're running the double shield on Regen, which is favorable when playing defense, especially on Hanamura.
Oh, definitely. Anything that you can do to keep that pathway blocked.
And not to mention, Green can give extra support to Sara on that Ashe when Sara doesn't have the Mercy pocket. But Tensa coming out on the Mercy, that's an interesting switch up.
That is definitely going to be interesting for sure, but they'll have the rest to come in with. Maxwell ends up getting the first pick onto Sorrow. No hit scan to keep them up, and Viral gonna fall soon after to My Crazy Cat. The objective already being captured by the side of our Zero as they send Regen all the way to the side of the map. First tick already coming in, passing the 50% mark. It looks like they're headed into tick number 2, and they will end up grabbing it right there. The only one on the objective right now is Jizzleton, as the rest of the team tries to keep Regen off that objective. And it looks like within the first minute, they will grab it. 6 minutes on the clock, folks, as we head into objective number 2.
My goodness, no one saw Maxwell come through that top left window with the Echo, and because of that damage boost by the Mercy, all it took was the sticky bombs to take out Sorrow. And then, I mean, I didn't see it on my screen, but My Crazy Cat must have just one clip. viral on the May, so that was pretty insane right there. So
well, it looks like Viral has now swapped over to the Tracer, looking to see if they can combat my Crazy Cat, but going to be unsuccessful right there. The res might end up coming in from Eski as they swap over to the Mercy themselves. Doesn't look like that'll be the case, but remember, defenders now have the advantage on this objective being so close. So let's see if they can continue to hold. Pulse Bomb coming in now from my Crazy Cat. Doesn't get the value it's looking for right there as the Immortality Field came up for Pascal, and it looks like they're going to continue to hold strong. My Crazy Cat gets res back into the fight from Tenza as Sorrow ends up taking Sluggo out of the fight. And it just seems like we're seeing a two-pronged attack coming in from the side of our Zero. The garage door ends up opening up, providing that amp heals and damage as much as possible. Sorrow able to take down my Crazy Cat, and Diva Bomb going in now from Salty. Doesn't end up getting the value it's looking for as the Bob from Sorrow takes Salty out of the fight with 4 minutes 30 seconds on the clock, and Maxwell now using the duplicate Sigma. It looks like they're going to go ahead and have to retreat for another fight.
yeah, and I mean, Maxwell just getting absolute great value on that Echo right there. One thing that we can definitely say for sure was they were definitely coming out with one of the Birds of Prey. Just they chose the better one, and if you ask me, if you were to take the dive meta that they're kind of running, you could run a Genji, but Echo is just a better Genji. Echo, honestly, right now, with the way the hero pools are, it's just a better everything except for hits. Unless, of course, you copy that.
Yeah, unless you have the Ash to throw the dynamite right in your face right there. Even if you're hiding, can't get away from that big old bang right there. Sorrow's going to continue to stay up due to Eski on that high ground, and Draco's going to run down Tenza. Ends up taking them out of the fight early, so no Resurrect coming in for the side of our Zero right there. My Crazy Cat soon to fall after, in another minute, taking off the time bank of our Zero.
Both teams, though, about to come up on all 6 ults, except for Maxwell and obviously Salty, who just got demeched. But it's looking like a good second hold for Regen.
They are definitely doing an incredible job holding this objective right now, and especially with all those ultimates in the bank, it's going to be very difficult for them to even lose this right now. Green setting up to get that Gravitic Flux in a place. Minefield coming down from Chiselchin as we see the Gravitic Flux coming out. Transcendence to capture that and try to provide some healing when the slam comes down. My Crazy Cat trying to get this objective, already got it up to the 15% mark, looking to see if they can get that first tick. Here comes the recall as they head for the Mega Health Pack. Bob getting sent into the objective as the minefield for Draco comes out on the objective as well. We got Chiselchin up on the high ground, ends up getting taken down by Viral, and it looks like Maxwell ends up getting the melt onto Green, but it's not going to be able to get much of anything else. The objective gets cleared as we go ahead and see our Zero try to retreat from the objective. Or maybe not. What? They're still throwing stuff at it. Oh, man. That was a quick regroup, and Crazy Cat and Salty throw Diva Bomb and Pulse Bomb in there. Maxwell now coming out as the Wrecking Ball gets the minefield and blocks the door. The only one left on the objective right now is Draco, as they've got first tick, second tick on the objective, as we see Viral now back in the fight, trying to see if they can hold down Sluggo on that high ground, looking to see if they can get those picks and provide healing from a distance. Green on that high ground as well, trying to get that remix so that they can rejoin the fight, but it's not soon enough. Rez now coming in as Tenza able to bring Chiselchin back from the dead, and now we're seeing the window opened up. Pascal trying to provide healing and DPS through that window, amplified to the max, trying to see if they can take Tenza out of this fight. Will end up grabbing it there in the end, but ends up getting sticky mines right to the face from Maxwell. The fight continues on, but it looks like we are finally stopped with 2 ticks on the objective, 76.8%, and only a minute left. Our Zero will head back to spawn one last time.
Every time our Zero or Regen look like they have lost a fight, they find a way, both of them, just to retake it. I mean, what a huge play by our Zero, forcing several ults. They ended up having 3 ults to throw all at once. you know, the Pulse Bomb and the Diva Bomb together is great zoning. But just the retake, Sorrow switching over that Doomfist, being able to do enough damage to be able to keep them in the fight. Now Viral has Pulse ready, and Green has their very own Diva Bomb, along with Minefield. They've got control of the point with just the ults they have.
That is true, and Viral looking to get in that backline, trying to see if they can take Sluggo out of the fight. Green already getting the first pick onto Tenza with the Diva Bomb. Only 13 seconds remaining on the clock as they try to find their way in. Somebody has to touch to trigger overtime away. Maxwell fighting Draco on the side, ends up grabbing the Wrecking Ball right before to plow through the minefield right there. Viral trying to feed into the objective as Crazy Cat grabs Sorrow with the Pulse Bomb, and Viral has a Pulse Bomb on their own. He grabs Maxwell there in the end as Draco runs down my Crazy Cat. Transcendence coming out. It's a 4v2 fight right now as Chiselchin running over Viral right there. Sorrow feeding back into the fight. It's 1v3 right now as we see the D-Mech Green trying to see if they can get back in there, get that mech back as quickly as possible. Salty, though, grabbing the double kill right there on both of the tanks as they continue to feed in. Draco trying to hold on as much as they possibly can, ends up getting Chiselchin with the help of Viral. Big Slam coming in from Draco, and at 88.5%, they are able to clear the objective just enough so that Arrow Zero can't lock it down.
Oh my, I can't tell if we're watching Carpe versus Soon or Sinatra versus Defron with these tracers. Because, I mean, both of them are just popping off tonight. But what an amazing hold. They had 6 minutes on the clock. Arrow Zero had 6 minutes on the clock to capture that second point, and they were only able to get 88.5%. What an amazing, just mental game Regen is having right now. Making the swaps they need to contest. Viral just absolutely dominating the Tracer at the end. This is just unreal. And the Sigma Ball just showing that contenders, meta we were talking about. I think they realized that double shield at the beginning, it's fine. But when you got so much ground to cover on the second point compared to the first, oh, what a great switch.
All right. Well, it looks like we are having a little bit of technical difficulties, folks. All right, no worries.
Peace be upon
All right, let's go. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and get back into the action now. It looks like we have some interesting compositions here. It looks like the attack looking to go with the double shield, and the Mei once again not using the Symmetra to get in, whereas we're seeing this ball Diva dive coming out for the defense. Very interesting there.
Yeah, and we're finally going to see my Crazy Cat on a hit scan character on the Ashe, and Maxwell is running the Tracer.
How about
that?
Very
interesting switch up for them.
All right, well, they're boxing them into the side room right now, trying to see it. I think they're waiting to see if they can get one of them to come in here and lock them down, but it doesn't look like they're going to end up being successful right there. The entire team now moving into essentially the spawn of the enemy, ends up grabbing Chiselchin as Maxwell follows up onto Sorrow and has now rotated onto the objective. Dynamite ends up coming out, but the Immortality keeping everybody alive. First tick on the objective as Viral grabs Crazy Cat, but the res comes in from Tensa to keep them up in the fight. Looking to get that second tick. There it comes as Regen tries to see if they can lock this all down. The window already coming out, looking to see if they can provide that amp as Eski ends up grabbing the pick onto Maxwell with the boop. Viral following up onto Chiselchin. The picks just continue to come in for either side as they continue to hold control of this objective. And it looks like control will be taken by the side of Regen. The bomb gets in, but not close enough to contest the objective, though. Somebody has got to touch, but no! It's not going to happen. 5 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock, and still we see many Hour Zeros right outside the new spawn of Regen as they try to fight their way back to the defense of Objective Bravo.
Wow, both teams amazing first pushes. Can we call that the Gladiator strategy? Because that reminded me of when the Gladiators in the inaugural season of Overwatch League. I believe it was on King's Road. They just completely flanked all the way around, and then one person did the cleanup behind. But Viral getting so much value with the Mei.
That is definitely helping them out a lot, and they have the Blizzard online too. As long as it doesn't get caught by Salty with the defense matrix, everything could work out very nice for them. Sorrow, though, falling early right there to Crazy Cat as they try to work their way into the high ground. The Dynamite ends up grabbing the Immortality Field, so they don't have that to support them. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and pull back and just wait to get their DPS back in the lineup.
Yeah, and right now, Pascal's been so amazing on that map. Not only keeping their team alive on that first point, already has a second window ready. And my Crazy Cat just taking everyone out.
That is true. Pick after pick coming in right now. Sorrow able to grab Maxwell right there. So both Tracers out of the fight for the, one Tracer and one Sorrow out of the fight for the moment as they try to retake the objective right now. Under the 4-minute mark, my Crazy Cat does have the Bob online, and Maxwell now swapping over to the Echo to see if they can provide a very quick and painful defense.
Yeah, but this rotation, taking the bottom ground, denying the high ground side, oh my goodness.
That is huge. The sound barrier gets invested into the fight. So does the Diva Bomb. Here comes the Blizzard trying to counter the minefield that has come out. And now here comes the window. Nothing but the window as they rotate into the low ground. Still don't have first tick on the objective as Green and Crazy Cat are fighting there on the high ground. The picks are happening on the objective. Draco and Virul able to take down Sluggo and Salty as they are halfway to that first tick, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough with Crazy Cat taking down Green. They're able to focus their attack on the objective once again. And with only Virul and Eski on the objective remaining, it looks like they're going to go ahead and head back to spawn one more time. 2 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock for Regen to take this objective.
What a great rotation from both teams. I'm going to say, you don't see very many teams take that bottom ground like Regen did. But using that Mei ult to help, take away the minefield, it's honestly not a bad strategy considering you already have control of the map. But my Crazy Cat just uncontested on the Ashe. Was even able to take care of Green.
All right, well, we have them heading back into the action now as Bob gets fed in. Sluggo ends up taking them down, though. Not going to get the value that they were looking for, but Maxwell taken out of the sky by Sorrow. And now it's the Sorrow versus Crazy Cat show, and woohoo! That boosted Crazy Cat is going to take Sorrow out of that fight. While on the objective, Draco trying to follow up there. Eski ends up getting the pick onto Salty as Crazy Cat comes back in, trying to keep them off of this objective. Essentially coming from their own spawn. Pick after pick. It is the Crazy Show all over again. Maxwell follows up the final two, and with 1:30 left on the clock, Regen has got to come up with something else to take down our Zero.
I can see why everyone's been hyping up my Crazy Cat after watching that display of aim. Oh my. And honestly, Sorrow, I wouldn't feel bad. He had to have a mercy pocket to save him because you probably would have won that fight, but once again, just you got to take them off that high ground. You got to take care of that Ashe.
That is true. If you don't take care of that Ashe, it is definitely going to bite you in the ash, if you know what I'm saying. Eski and the rest of the team trying to move their way onto the high ground as the 60-second bell starts to ring. Now the bongos end up coming out on the high ground as well. I'm honestly a little confused. I'm not exactly sure what they're going for here. Chiselchin, though, running down both Eski and Draco. Takes down Sorrow, too. Sends them right over the side, and it looks like they're going to continue to hold on to this high ground. Pascal and Virul go for the quick reset to try to get back with their team as we head into final fight territory.
Yes, and right now you have Minefield at 70. You have Diva Bomb coming up. You have Copy up, and you have both support up. If I'm Arrow Zero, I'm feeling pretty good.
They
have a lot of stall potential to, keep that fight going as long as they need it. But I mean, with the way my Crazy Cat's been just hitting headshots,
that's true.
Might not need it.
You do still have 5 ultimates on the other side as well, but somebody has to touch, and it looks like the sound barrier gonna get invested by Eski as well as the Blizzard from Viral, trying to see if they can touch this objective. Maxwell coming in now with the duplicate onto the Sigma, using the Gravitic Flux, looking to see if they can grab someone. Gonna be unsuccessful. Salty throws in the bomb, ends up grabbing Draco as Sluggo takes down Sorrow's Bob, and that is gonna be all they wrote. Hour Zero walks away with Hanamura, bringing us up 2-0 in this semifinals matchup.
This is an unbelievable matchup. Just the display of skill each individual player has been showing is just insane. But I think the difference right now, so far, is the uncontesting of My Crazy Cat. We saw it on Busan, and we just watched it on Hanamura. If you let Crazy Cat get all that value, I mean, they were able to flank with the Ashe after taking care of the counterpart Ashe. And not only did they throw Bob in for the contest, they were at 75% by the end of that fight, so they pretty much had Bob for the next fight. That is what you call amazing value from a hit scan player such as My Crazy Cat. So
I can definitely concur with that. They are definitely getting the crazy part of their name right, and it is not an insult. Folks, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more of the Tranquility Community Open in just a few minutes. The Tranquility Community Open, right now we are sitting at our third match of this semifinals matchup between Hour Zero and Regen. Regen having kind of a difficult time these first 2 matches, as Hour Zero took both Busan and Hanamura. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this is going to be going forward, and I can't say that I'm surprised that this next map has been chosen, because if you don't have Scrims Row, you don't have Scrims Row, are you even playing Overwatch? Honestly, are you even playing Overwatch?
Now, Jack, for those who have never witnessed a Tranquility game before, when me and Jack are on cast and this map is in the pool for hybrid, we already know it's coming. Gosh, do we know?
It hurts.
It hurts. We know you guys love it, but it hurts our souls. It's the same thing every time. But you know what? It's good news, because Kings Row is that map that any meta is possible. Like most hybrids, I think probably the only few that you can't really get away with is probably maybe Nubani. You got to run that Winston. But other than Nubani, Kings Row, Blizzworld, you can pretty much get away with whatever you want. And right now, if I'm on Kings Row, I really hope My Crazy Cat throws out that Widow, although I'm sure they're going to be on the Ashe just because you get a little more value from the Ashe, especially with the nerfs that have happened to Widow in the past.
True. True.
But we finally got to witness Maxwell and My Crazy play other characters besides that Tracer Sombra. We got to finally witness Maxwell on the Tracer instead of My Crazy, and My Crazy just showing incredible aim and just patience on that.
Absolutely. We might actually be seeing even a different matchup in this one. So far, we've seen kind of a dive meta coming out of the side of Hour Zero using the Ball Diva, but Kings Row, that is Brawl Central. And for those of you that don't understand that, Brawl is more of your Rein Zarya compositions, lots of shields, lots of kind of get in your face and do a heck of a ton of damage. We might see some Mei, might see some Reaper or Junkrat, just anyone that can get in and do a heck of a ton of damage right in your face is typically what we'll see on Kings Row. But honestly, the reason it's called Scrims Row is because everyone plays it. There are so many different ways to play Kings Row, it's not even funny. And so I would not be surprised if we end up seeing Hour Zero continuing to stick onto this dive meta that they've been so keen on holding on to.
Yeah. Now, as Jack says, everyone likes to play it. I'm telling you right now, a really big brain strategy for those teams who are watching tonight, don't pick Kings Row. Pick another map. Learn other maps, okay? And I'm not just saying that for me and Jack's sanity's sake, but I'm just saying, if you really want to throw a team off, try to figure out what the popular maps are for those tournaments or community, and then figure out which ones that people aren't good on. When I played for Paradise, we'd always try to every time we had a scrim, we would not pick these maps. We'd try to pick a map that no one plays on. So that way, in case it ever did get played on, because there are teams like Get Off My Land who like to play those fun maps. Let's say Paris or Horizon, or if they were in the map pool, they like to throw those out. So it's always good to know other maps. But
True.
It's Kings Row, so here we go. And actually, right now, we're already seeing that Sombra Tracer, Diva Ball, and Yada Brig coming out from Hour Zero.
Wow.
It took me a second. I just realized the teams flipped, so I'm glad I realized that right now.
Yep, everybody should be able to see it in the stream as well. We have swapped the sides, so now Hour Zero is coming in on the defense with Regen coming in on the attack, and that is the left and right side, respectfully. So, again, like you said, we're seeing this dive meta come out, and I don't know, to me it's just so weird, especially Tenza on the Brig, because dive meta doesn't really stick together all that much, and so you're not going to get a lot of value out of Tenza on that Brig, at least healing-wise. But I don't know, they obviously know something my flat brain does not.
I think with the Brig is the pill for the Zenyatta, so those two are always going to be constantly together, so you don't have to worry about Slugo getting dove by the other team as easy.
That does indeed make sense.
I thought we were about to see Lucio for the first time tonight, but no. SK decided to go back to that Mercy.
Yeah, we did have a little bit of Lucio on to Hanamura.
That's right. Last bit contender, yep.
That's true. Maxwell, though, setting up, trying to see if they can get those hacks. The objective already getting taken by a little bit, but already Maxwell getting found out right there.
Oh, crazy.
Ends up grabbing Viral, trying to make their way into that back line. Green ends up getting taken down to half health, but Draco's going to go ahead and run them down, trying to get Maxwell out of here so that Green can survive. The rock comes out from Green, looking to see if they can grab Crazy Cat, but going to be unsuccessful, and now Maxwell's got him hacked one more time. The objective starting to be captured once again, but this dive meta is all over the place, and Maxwell and Crazy Cat are taking advantage of it, grabbing both Pascal and Sorrow. Salty able to follow up onto Esky, and the picks just continue to come in as Crazy Cat is essentially now in the enemy spawn, trying to fight off Draco. It looks like they might be able to get back, but if they don't, they've already wasted a minute and a half off the clock.
Yeah, that spy check was insane coming from Ash right there. But Mike Crazy, while that spy check was going, just once again taking people out left and right. Mike Crazy right now, if I was looking for a Tracer, that's coming good. But Maxwell also has EMP almost up, which is very huge.
Ooh,
so these DPS are just doing their job.
I think the thing I'm most surprised about is the fact that they keep running the ball when you have the Sombra in there. Pulse Bomb ends up coming out from Viral, doesn't get the value that it's looking for, though, and ends up not getting a pick, and the Transcendence soaks up the damage. Diva Bomb coming in from Salty, doesn't get the value it's looking for either, but gets a pick. First tick, second tick, third tick, go, as the picks come in for the side of Regen. 4 minutes on the clock right now as they go ahead and unlock the payload and start heading to the next objective.
That Pulse may have not got the kill, but that flick for the stick, oh my goodness. That was just a nasty flick.
That is true. And this is, for those of you that don't know, Hybrid is a combination of Escort and Assault. So we just witnessed the Assault portion where they had to take control of the objective. And now they have this beautiful little payload that most 99.9% of Overwatch players really just ignore. Not a big deal, but if you want to win the game, it's just a little bit important because you gotta push it to the next 2 objective points. Looking here into the action now, my Crazy Cat gets the first pick onto Viral as we go ahead and see them work their way back to the payload. Picks continuing to come in as Pascal and Draco both fall as well. Looking to get that Pulse Bomb maybe onto the Ash. Mercy there, no, don't even need it. Just gonna go ahead and clean it up with the help of Chisel Chin right there. And that's gonna go ahead and push Regen back to spawn. 3 minutes remaining on the time bank.
Yeah, you really do not need that Pulse when you've got traction like that. My Crazy, one thing I've noticed is not only are they very patient about the Pulse, but it looks like they try to use it more for a bait out the trance while taking out the other support. That's what we got to see on Busan. Now, it's just on the Esky on the Mercy probably won't be as effective because you got the Guardian Angel to get away. But hey, the patience of these DPS once again just absolutely outstanding.
Wow. Oh, Maxwell just tracking Pascal that entire time. Ends up taking them out of the fight early. And Tenza getting the follow-up onto Esky as well. Chiselchin working their way in, able to grab Sorrow there in the end, and we'll get the follow-up onto Green as well with the help of Tenza. Another minute shaved off of the time bank as the payload is stalled at 77 meters.
Yeah, and here's what I was saying, that dive, you know, running the Brig Zen, you have that constant lookout for the Zen. Right now, because Esky has been on that Mercy trying to pocket Sorrow, who was just on the Ashe, switched over to Sombra, Pascal has been almost free game for either My Crazy or Maxwell. And that's what Maxwell's doing, has been spawn camping.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on right here. Huge right there. Gets the 4K as the cleanup starts to come in. Pascal and Chiselchin end up trading kills right there as the minefield ends up coming out for Draco. Pulse bomb from Viral as well. Also grabs Crazy Cat, but it looks like they took themselves out of the action as well. And it looks like Green will go ahead and get back to pushing that payload, trying to see if they can move it forward, but there's just too much on the objective. Draco's mines end up grabbing Maxwell there in the end, and it looks like that payload's going to get stalled one more time at 84 meters.
Yeah. Just the absolute scouting from this dive composition has been very huge for Hour Zero. Maxwell is showing everyone one of the finest traits of Sombra's kit, and that is that invisibility. If you can stay in the backline and see what's going on, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Now SK just absolutely boxed in that corner. Oh, I hate that.
Chiselchin with that double kill right there goes ahead and cleans up the objective one more time, heading into final fight territory with only 30 seconds remaining on the clock.
This has been one insane Kings Row. If it gets hold to the second point, we don't get to see that very often, Jack. Usually it's a overtime bonanza fiasco who is going to get the 6 ticks instead of the 3. So
I can definitely concur with that. Second point holds are very rare, to say the least, but with 10 seconds on the clock and a couple ultimates in the pocket, they might be able to pull it off. Crazy Cat trying to work their way into the back line as they get up to 90 meters, and now they've got to stay on that payload, just like the objective. If you step off of it and overtime ticks away, that's it. You get locked out of it, but that payload's starting to move its way forward. Pascal providing some healing with the Transcendence right there. Even if the EMP came down, it wouldn't be able to prevent all that healing coming out. Viral throwing out the Pulse Bomb, gets nothing but shield as we see the Transcendence now coming out for Sluggo. EMP comes in huge, grabs the double kill, and just shy of objective number 2. The EMP forces everyone back. Chiselchin grabs the double kill, and round 1 is complete.
yeah, this matchup on Kings Row is, we've seen some of them from Regen we haven't seen at all tonight, and that was very slow transitions to switch to other characters. Now, granted, they were able to get the value they wanted from the Ashe Mercy, but I think once they got to that second point and you just had Pascal being taken out fight after fight before the fight even began, switching over to that Brigitte, I think, was what gave them a chance, but it was just a little too late. So
absolutely true. And right now we are in dangerous territory right now for Regen. This is supposed to be their comeback right now, and Hour Zero is putting them in their place, so to speak. It has definitely been a rough road for them, but they still can win this. As long as that payload does not reach that 106.14 meters in the time required, Regen will take this map and will continue moving forward, but this is their final chance, that last opportunity for them to be able to hold on to this fight and take it to the final.
Yeah, and actually, they honestly could tie it too, because it is possible, very rare, but on a hybrid map or on a payload map, it is possible to get that draw. You get the exact same distance, which people forget, but
that's
so rare.
It's incredibly rare, and usually that only happens at the lockout point. So
I don't think y'all heard, but our producer just said he'll eat his shorts if it happens. So.
Oh my god.
I want to see it happen.
That would definitely be. Well, see, now they got to do it. At that point, goodness, would you like the salt and pepper, sir?
or some leopard pants, because I know you got some from that Zarya.
Oh my goodness. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Hey, good times, good times. What are you talking about?
You can check that out on our socials. Remember, owtranquility.com. Otherwise, let's get into the action as we already see first fight have prevented Hour Zero from touching the objective. Sorrow taking the McCree this time around with Viral on that Mei. Really looking to beef up the defense with Draco also on that Rhine. Oh, man. And with no shields in their way, we're going to see some bad shatters, I'm sure.
Ooh. Oh, that immortality though.
That saved the day right there, but Sluggo Ore taking it out, and here comes the garage door, looking to see if they can provide some support through it, and it looks like it's keeping the team up rather well. Green chasing down Salty right there. Salty is gonna end up getting D-Mac as we go ahead and see the hack come in on to Draco. It looks like they're gonna stay up though for the time being, as we go ahead and see them hold on to this objective. Maxwell trying to see if they can get out of there, but it doesn't look like it's going to. No, it looks like they will squeeze out just there at the end, getting saved by Chisel Chin. But they are still getting pushed back off that objective. High Noon coming out, ends up grabbing Sluggo, almost ends up grabbing Tensa as well. Crazy Cat getting taken down by Sorrow as well, and you are just seeing now a Kree unhinged, trying to get pick after pick right now. The tanks are on the high ground for Hour Zero's. Tensa and ends up fighting pretty much the rest of the team right there, which means it's not going to work out very well for them. Already, we have 1 minute 40 seconds remaining on the clock, and not a tick to be had by Hour Zero.
So just watching Sorrow right now, you can tell they have had enough. They are pulling out that wanted aim, and they're taking the advice from IDDQ, who said, I don't care how much you hit, just shoot. If you're killing somebody, you're doing your job.
That's true. EMP Diva Bomb comes in. Salty grabs Pascal as we see now Transcendence countering out the blizzard of Viral right there. It looks like we're going to see Draco with the fat shatter ends up taking down Salty, but I don't think it's going to be enough as Maxwell has been working in that backline. Viral able to grab Crazy Cat as we see the amplification matrix opened up once again. Minefield coming out from Chisel Chin, trying to prevent them from pushing into the objective. So shy of that first tick, but it looks like Hour Zero is not going to be able to touch this objective and get that percentage moving up with only 35 seconds remaining. Man, we actually might be heading to a fourth match.
I'm going to be excited for that. You know, we get to see this fire just lit under Regen right now. I would really like to see how Hour Zero will respond to them actually losing the map here.
Well, they still got time to do it. As long as they can get it in enough time, it'll work out well for them. 15 seconds remaining on the clock. Maxwell falling incredibly low, but going to be able to get back into the fight. My Crazy Cat in that back line as well, too. Let's see if they can take him out. Chiselchin coming in with the drop, grabs Eski as we see Sorrow trying to keep their backline protected. Does have the High Noon online and getting ready to unleash it. Here it comes. High Noon on the objective, looking to get that double kill, but ends up getting run down by Salty and Sluggo. My Crazy Cat gets the follow-up on Green, and in overtime, we will go ahead and see them take the objective, getting 2.5 minutes added to their time bank, and the payload will start moving through the street.
Now, this is new for me. I've never seen a Sombra even invisible to spectators, so that's pretty cool. That's not the best part. We have the chance to watch our producer eat his own shorts still. Is that check to the top? Ooh, that's my check.
Oh man, look at that right there. Eski ends up getting the first pick there onto Maxwell with the help of Sorrow. They're gonna go ahead and lock down the payload very early as Draco using the Maywall to take down Tensa. And it looks like the Diva Bomb gonna get popped out there by Salty. Gonna get nothing but shield though. But Crazy Cat working in that backline ends up grabbing Viral as the Pulse Bomb gets nothing but shield as well. That shield, despite all the damage it's taking, it is still holding up incredibly well. A minute 40 remaining on the clock as we continue to see Regen hold the defense.
I'm wondering if that bomb was just a fat finger because they did have the EMP bomb. Oh my goodness!
So that's a 3-man EMP looking to come in, maybe with the minefield. No, just a big slam, and it looks like the healing is gonna bring it back. Haskell using the self heals as well as the rally coming out from Eski is gonna go ahead and hold them up. They're just trying to burn their ultimates, but Sorrow coming onto that high noon here very shortly. Tensa now coming out with the rally as the high noon comes out with the blizzard. Diva Bomb coming out from green ends up grabbing Chiselchin, but the minefield grabs Pascal. That is not going to be good news for them as their main healer. That'll be hard for them to continue to hold on. 50 seconds remaining on the clock as the payload is locked at 38 meters.
Now, I know our producer is just as shocked as I that Immortality field was able to, be used. But for those of you who don't know, when Sombra's EMP goes off, if the disc is in air and has not hit the ground, it is not affected by neither her nor by EMP. So it's just one of those things like when you think about you're trying to stop a diva or a diva from eating like a May Blizzard. It's those little tricks you gotta know. Like for instance, Viral, if I was him, this fight is going all over the place. Wow.
Yes, it is. Chiselchin and Tensa clearing the objective right. Tensa! Oh my goodness! With the triple kill on the brig. And that payload is moving furiously forward now. 60 meters on the objective, 70 meters now as we head into overtime. If they can make it to that 106 meter mark, they will take this. They cannot leave the objective though, because if it is abandoned, they will end up losing this fight. There are ultimates online, Pulse Bomb and EMP. Here's the EMP, but the rally has been released by Eski. High noon now coming out from Sorrow, looking to see if they can hold on to the objective. Ends up getting nothing as the Transcendence gets fed in as well as the minefield and Diva Bomb. Tensa able to get the first pick onto Eski as the Shatter comes in from Draco, swinging away, trying to get a Diva Bomb now coming in from green, looking to see if he can grab some value, but Tensa, it is the Tensa show getting pick after pick with that flail, and they will clear the objective in a fervor. Hour Zero takes this semifinals match 3-0 here on Kings Row.
Okay, once again, I'm just gonna say that Brigida and Zenyatta, woo, brig diff. Oh my goodness. So, guys, this was just amazing. Even though it was 3-0, Regen definitely put up a huge fight tonight.
Oh, so, absolutely. Go ahead.
I'm just dumbfounded by Tensa just showing that Brig is still so playable. I hate it and love it at the same time.
I can definitely concur with you on that. So the last thing that I think that we should be thinking about is, looking at the team, who do you think is really our player of the match, so to speak, for this? Definitely a lot of top tier players this game, Gizmo. So who would you pick for your player of the match this time around?
Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm split between Maxwell and my Crazy Cat just because of what we got to see from them on their DPS. They were showing that Tracer Sombra combo so well, and just the patience both of them had. But I'm gonna have to go with my Crazy Cat because their aim is cracked. I mean, we got to see it on Hanamura. Just the flank Ash, able to throw Bob in there, get a 4K, plus took out the counter Ash right beforehand, and then almost having Bob again, just absolute great value. What about you, Jack?
You know what? I have to give some support love. I think the combination of Tenza and Sluggo, despite the fact that they were using the Zenyatta Brig, which I thought was really odd, worked out incredibly well. Tenza, as we saw there at the end, just getting final blow after final blow during those entire last two fights, and providing a lot of help to Sluggo, who was able to support from a distance, as well as those clutch transcendencies that were keeping their team alive during a lot of very close fights. So I have to give some support love to them as well. Be sure to continue to stay tuned in. Coming up at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the final match here at the Tranquility Community Open. Do not miss it. We've got some amazing casters. The desk will be doing some great analysis as well, and it is just going to be absolutely incredible to watch. You do not want to miss it right here on Facebook Gaming. You can check out everything about the Overwatch Tranquility community at owtranquility.com. With that being said, thank you so much for joining us. My name's Captain Jack.
And I'm Gizmo Charmander.
And we'll see you all a little bit later.